Do you feel the upper area of your body restricted, especially when you try to raise your arms? You want to grab something from the top cabinet, but it's not so easy for you. It's all kind of stiff and hard to move. So now I'll give you 4 effective exercises that will help you move like you used to. So it's best to start right away, go through all the exercises, and you'll immediately feel how much better you can move afterward. Why is it that the arms feel heavier and can no longer move as easily as before? We attribute this to the fact that most people spend their entire day holding their arms forward and down, whether to write, type on a keyboard, or while cooking. The arms are always in this position. They're very, very rarely just moved here or there. And the muscles in this front area are getting more and more tension. Everything is getting shorter and pulling forward, and your mobility is becoming more difficult and increasingly restricted as a result. That's why we're doing these 4 exercises, to improve your flexibility. And the last exercise is especially effective. It's from our app. Ina, go ahead and get down. Get down into the 4-point position, please. It's best to do this at home immediately. We'll do it with a timer. Hands in front. Now, Ina, make sure your thighs stay completely vertical the whole time you're in this position. So approximately here. Move your hands forward just enough to be able to lower your chest, making sure your hips stay steady and don't move forward with you. Stay like that. Once you're in position, make sure to leave a space between your hands so your thumbs align naturally and rest comfortably. To even be able to touch, fully extend your elbows and now pay attention. Now lower the upper end of your sternum further and further down. And then you'll feel the stretch in the shoulders, maybe a bit down the back here and a little bit into the arms as well. And there you go in, just like Ina does. Move very calmly and make sure to keep the elbows fully stretched out. The most common mistake in this exercise is bending the elbows slightly, as it makes it easier for the body, allowing it to avoid the effort and reduce the workload. But you have to consciously keep extending them, and at the same time, you'll instantly notice how the stretch in this area becomes increasingly intense and pronounced. And the intensity, because it really stretches a lot and it should also hurt a little. Comfortable pain is the aim, yes. And ensure that this stretching sensation, which you primarily feel in the shoulders, remains just within the tolerable range, okay? Don't take it beyond this point. It has to be just a comfortable pain. And now about a minute has passed. And now we're incorporating our special strength training routine that further enhances the effect and makes the exercise even more efficient. So push with both hands as hard as you can against the floor, as if you were trying to push the floor downward, so to speak. Release once more and go a bit deeper into the stretch, letting your body relax further. Ina is quite well stretched because she exercises regularly with us. If you're not nearly as far down as Ina, don't worry. Each time you practice, you'll improve. And then after a few weeks, you'll gradually get further and further down. And then you press against the floor again. Really push firmly. And then release and go a little bit deeper. And going deeper, again, important, always with the upper end of the sternum. It's not with the abdomen, but with the sternum. And then you immediately feel the stretch in the arms more intensely. And keep the arms nicely stretched. And then you can slowly come back. Let's go right into the next exercise. Ina, sit down and stretch your legs out. Exactly, and go ahead and move a bit further in this direction and place your knees down. And move a bit further forward because you'll need space to go back. Do the same at home when you're practicing this exercise regularly. And now bring your arms all the way back. Exactly, keep your elbows fully extended and try to position your hands slightly wider than your shoulders. And now you'll notice that it stretches in this area of the chest, pulling into the shoulders and a bit into the arms. Keep breathing steadily. And now the primary focus is to move forward more and more by actively engaging your glutes. That means you shift your weight onto one glute or the other and continue moving forward step by step. And make sure your hands remain completely still and steady. You could also try firmly gripping the mat, for instance. Or perhaps you could grab a towel to hold on to, making sure your hands stay firmly in place and don't slip or slide to the side. And then it pulls in this area of the chest and into the shoulders and arms. That can pull all the way to the fingertips. And if you feel tingling, don't worry at all, because that tingling sensation simply indicates everything is tightening up now. And if it tingles, once the exercise stops, the tingling will stop too, and then at night, it will be much less because everything becomes nicely relaxed and more flexible. Go in a little bit further if you can and keep the chest area fully open, maintaining that posture. So don't roll your shoulders in, but keep them wide open. Okay, now a minute is almost up. Keep the elbows completely straight and now press as firmly as possible against the floor right here with all your strength. Push really hard, making sure the force comes from the shoulders. And then relax again. Check if you can move a little further forward. But don't overdo it. It always has to be just bearable, right on the very edge of being tolerable. That's our aim always. And press against the floor again. Press really firmly against it. And then release and go further in. I completely forgot to mention earlier that Ina is back and she's the one doing the exercise. And I'll explain it to you, but most of you already know Ina. Okay, now slowly come back, just enough to relax a bit so you're not coming out of it too suddenly. All right, and next we're heading straight to the wall. Stand in front of a wall, about half a step or one full step away, depending on the length of your legs. And we'll demonstrate it using the left arm. Ina, go ahead and raise your left arm straight upwards. And what we're focusing on now is move a little further forward up here until your elbow is against the wall, and then bend your elbow. Take your other hand and carefully guide it across the front of your face, gently reaching over to firmly grasp your left wrist. Yes, indeed, and with this hand, with your right hand, gently press the left hand further and closer towards your shoulder blade. And the wall is simultaneously pushing your elbow back, and you'll want to make an effort to resist that pressure with your armpit moving towards the wall. So instead of bringing your belly towards the wall, focus on actively directing your armpit. It's meant to move towards the wall. And then you'll feel a really strong stretch in this area, and that's where it's meant to be felt. That's also incredibly important for shoulder mobility because the triceps are being thoroughly stretched and loosened up in that specific area right now. And you breathe in deeply, exhale deeply, and try to move skillfully. Remember, grab more towards the wrist because the lever will be bigger and you'll have more strength. You can also help with your head. Look, press with your head over it, and then you'll notice it helps the hand. Allowing the left arm to bend further and move closer toward the shoulder. And breathe nicely during the exercise. Don't overdo it, but don't underdo it either. It's important not to do too little and not to do too much. Too little would mean the effect isn't quite strong enough, and too much means the body gets overloaded and responds with counter-tension or resistance, and that's exactly the opposite of what we want to achieve. And now we'll start our strength training here as well. That means you're attempting to fully extend your arm, but you're holding it firmly in place to prevent it from straightening out entirely. Push a little bit more, Ina, just a bit further now. And then let go and gently ease deeper into the stretch gradually. Yes. Always lean against the wall like this so you can feel the stretch at its absolute maximum. And now once more, you're aiming to stretch your arm fully. This time we'll add a bit more difficulty and you'll need to press your elbow firmly against the wall simultaneously. Try to fully stretch out your arm and press your elbow against the wall. You'll feel the tension in two different spots, but only go as far as it feels comfortable and safe for you. If you're not sure what I mean, just do the exercise as it is. It will still help you a lot. Okay, and then slowly come back out. You should now repeat the same process on the right side, but we're already moving forward to the fourth exercise, which involves positioning yourself in the corner or even a door frame. So if you don't have a free corner available, you can also use a door frame as an alternative, or you can set up 2 chairs and position yourself on them with your hands like this. Yes, you begin by positioning your arms horizontally and then gradually move them upward at a 45-degree angle until you reach and touch the wall. Then you hold on once again. Then you step back, always important, with one foot. With one foot back, with the other slightly forward, and now make sure to keep your arms fully extended. And you move forward again like before with the upper end of your sternum. And then you'll immediately feel the stretch. And you'll gradually work your way into it, just a little more each time. And always just to the point where you can still bear it. The positive aspect must always outweigh the discomfort. As soon as you start feeling, I need to stop, this is way too much, you're completely ruining the enjoyment of the exercise. And the exercises has to be fun, that's really important. They have to hurt and be exhausting, like an active vacation. A positive feeling is absolutely crucial because it ensures you keep doing them regularly and consistently. And a little bit more. And then you press firmly against the wall with both of your hands, holding steady. Back to our strength training now. Push against the wall with both hands, but make sure your body doesn't move backward while pushing. It has to stay exactly there. No movement should take place at all. Relax again and move a bit further inward. And then it still pulls a bit more, but it has to remain just positive. Again, press both hands hard against the wall, Ina. Push as hard as you can. Put real effort into it without letting the body move. Press really hard. And relax again and stretch further in one last time. And we're almost done. Just stretch a little further in. And now step out of the corner, turn around, and even at home, take a moment to feel into yourselves. Feel into it, what you sense. Light, right? You feel lightness. And do you sense how mobile it is, how it feels? That's probably what you want throughout your whole body, and that's why on Saturday we'll have another video. There will be exercises again that'll make you feel 10 years younger.